Accuracy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again for another monthly portfolio update, this time for the month of August of 2025. Before we jump right on into it, let's get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. We want to make sure we hit that like on the way in. If you've been here more than twice, we'll make sure you hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, share the video. And that goes across the board because it's an easy way to support the channel, easy way to support me, help grow the channel. We're on the trek to 500 subs. I've been told by a few people that I'm going to hit it by the end of the year. I don't know. We'll see if people are rocking with you, boy. If not, it doesn't really, well, it does matter. But I'm doing this for documentation purposes. We're documenting the journey. So those people who rock with it, rock with it. Those who don't. And we're going to bring to the stage the one, the only portfolio, because before we jump into snowball analytics, which can be finagled and manipulated to make things seem like what they aren't, or seem like what they not seem like what they are, but seem like what they aren't. We go with the receipts and we show the entire portfolio. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's get the portfolio up here. Make me a micro machine and let's jump into these numbers. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and start off with, let's go ahead and start off with the in-home banking. Jump into this portfolio. Now, what we've got going on here, I've got a cash balance because we're about to do something strategically because this is the portfolio that can do options. So with that said, we've got a little bit of cash sitting in here that we're going to be building up. We're going to be building up a little bit of a cash position, and then we're going to start doing some options wheel strategy with some of the ETFs that we hold near and dear to our hearts. The other thing that we're doing is we are up to 11 shares of Strike, which obviously we had 3 paychecks over the month of August. So we had 1 paycheck, and instead of putting that in and making it so that cash balance wise we're ahead on our mortgage payment, where we went and took the vast majority of that and stuck it in here, bought a couple extra shares. So along with our stipend from our distributions, we have a stipend for our check because we had that extra check this month. So we wanted to stretch that as far as possible. And we went ahead and threw it in some more shares of Strike. It's under $100. So I'm smashing buy on it at all times. Obviously they're utilizing it to purchase Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is, so the NAV price on it is down, but you know, it pays out quarterly. So we're gonna keep rocking with it and keep letting that build and compound in here, and we'll keep adding to it on the schedule that we've got, because as it sits right now, it is paying over 8% in yield, unless it gets back up to $100 by the time we get that payment. So we're going to take that. So that's not too bad at all. That aside, you know, we've got all of our dust over here, and yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. So then moving on, we are going to jump into the long-term holds. Got a little CEP. We'll be getting another share of Charles Schwab as the beginning of the month rolls around. We'll be pulling out money from our deal for that because we're buying 1 share a month of the platform that we're using. CEP, we got, you know, we're following Mark Waller into the pits here. This position, we've still got 6 more shares to purchase. So that's going to drag down that cost average. Once we get to 10, we'll focus on our next position. We'll be adding another position. I'm just going to cycle through them 10 at a time. And then once we get to our thresholds on that, we will call it a day, more or less. So that's long-term holds. Let's go ahead and breeze through that. We'll get to the one that everybody wants to hear about and cares about, the income portfolio. Now, let's take a look at it. So this is the context. It's red. It's red everywhere, man. It's red. Misty, super red. So we're sitting here. We've got the total gain loss in regards to just NAV alone of negative 24.35%. I say that because people see this, and that's the only number that they care about. Oh, big red number, $11,000. Oh my God, it's all over. You got to get out, run for the hills. Now, couple of things. First and foremost, we do have to get out of a position. Which one specifically? Misty. And I know that this is going to ruffle some feathers because I am a big Bitcoin and MicroStrategy bull, and this portfolio is still going to be Bitcoin focused. The issue we have specifically is this portfolio is gobbling up debt, which means that for me, I need my percentage, my passive income percentage high. And for me, that sweet spot in all my portfolios right now, all of them at this juncture of the game for me, needs to be between 80 and 100% passive income, which I understand is degenerate and crazy for those of you from the TradFi space, the traditional finance space, the people who do what their grandpappy did, the boomer plan people. This is insane for you. And I understand that. But I am from the cryptocurrency space. I am from the DeFi space. I have my foundations of my wealth tied to Bitcoin. I have made most of the money that I've used to acquire that first initial Bitcoin in the DeFi space. So for me, these are small numbers. Just so you know, I got some of my farms right now over on Solana that are pulling 200% APY. Requires more work and a lot more risky. So, and by a lot more risky, I mean an order of magnitude more risky for that extra 100%. So I'm liking the way that this is working because this works for me and it's a risk tolerance that I am willing to accept. With the Misty position, it's not that I don't like the fund and it's not that I don't think the fund's going to turn around. The issue is right now, considering it's the majority of my portfolio, which is still sitting at 57.5% until Tuesday. The position in and of itself is it had, and we're going to go look at the fix for that since, as you can see, we've got 2,728.105 shares of ulty sitting in the hopper doing work. But Misty had drugged me well out of that range because it was my only holding. So we had to start transitioning Misty into ulty because ulty is performing. It is paying. It is a weekly payer. It is diversified. And I want this fund at this juncture is the foundation of my portfolios. Basically all of them. Why? Because it's weekly. The range has been very tight on it, and outside of the market going down, it had been performing very well. So as we transition out of Misty, I've got a little bit more ulti to buy, and then we'll be moving the rest of this systematically over the next few weeks into our next follow-up position, which is going to be xbty. Yield boost from graniteshares. Why? Because it's still at 100% and it's on the core underlying asset of Bitcoin. It's not getting beat up by the bears as much. Is it volatile? Absolutely. But it's at that sweet spot. It's about 20 something dollars a share. And we are in a Bitcoin dip. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy into that. And technically speaking, you could do the same thing with another MicroStrategy share, but I'm gonna go ahead and have my core, my first position, which I'm going to bring MicroStrategy shares back in on the back end as a tertiary position, but I want the yield boost position second. And the reason is because I am bullish on Bitcoin and we are in a bear market. And so these leveraged funds that I'm going to be bringing in, most likely everything is going to be weekly moving forward for me with this portfolio, with most of my portfolios. And the reason being for that is these monthly covered call ETFs are trapped on a monthly basis. If we're not going to be able to make pivots throughout the month, if things go wrong, if the market goes against us like what it's doing right now, Misty is trapped into those positions for the entire month, which means you have a bad month. We had a bad month. Like it just is what it is. They're doing the best and it's still paying. So the position, I don't think that Misty has failed. I don't think it's a bad product. I don't think it's as efficient as it needs to be. It definitely isn't efficient from a yield perspective for me right now, because this is about income production. This phase of the game is income production. What is in the long-term holdings portfolio? That's a different conversation. And the reason being is that's long-term position, but I really wouldn't put, I mean, I've actually honestly at some point would like to get some income generated within that portfolio in and of itself, but I'd be more apt if the market's booming and we're consistently going up, I would be maybe a little bit more likely to put a monthly in there. But as it sits right now with the market being choppy, like we're going up for 2 weeks and then slamming down, Misty's just doesn't perform well in that scenario because it's within the month, it's within their cycle. So like if they don't win during those periods, then you know there's not much that they can do besides give us a paltry payout. And like if the market keeps trending down, the next payment could be under $1 and have the yield be even lower. And I'm not trying to deal with that specifically. So what we're doing is we're transitioning out of the Misty position. Can we go back into it? Sure. But we have MicroStrategy weekly options as well. And for me, I like the flexibility of them being able to reposition so that you only have bad weeks and not bad months. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start with XBTY to fill that gap. Now, I know I made a video that's going to be the end of September that said that we were going into MSTW. That's going to be a tertiary position. And that video was already recorded. I'm not re-recording it because that's canon now. Like it's part of the lore. Like it was a thought that I had when I recorded it. And then by the time we got to this video and tallied up everything on the end of the month, I'd done more research. I recorded that video while I was still in the process of doing research. You guys sat here with me to see my logic on the research for that video. So when it comes up now and everybody's like, aha, I'll be like, hey, did you watch the portfolio update for the months? I already addressed this. I just don't re-record stuff because I just think it's very disingenuous to go, hey, I recorded this. I'm going to go backtrack and re-record it so that it fits in line with the narrative that I'm trying to spin. I don't do that. Like, I don't have time for it. We can have the conversation here. And then when that video comes out at the end of the month, when it drops, when it premieres, we can have the conversation about it then, but we'll have XBTC or XBTY in the portfolio produce an income by then, because we're going to go ahead and do a position that's going to give us about $400 a month. And then I'm going to get us in position to where it's going to produce around $1,000 a month. I think that's what we're going to do. That's probably what we're going to do. And then whatever's left over will then go into MSTW, and that'll be the third position. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, I got a little bit of backtracking on XBTY to do to take a look and see where we're going to be on that. But as soon as we get that going in the hopper, we're for sure coming out of the gate with it producing over $100 a week. So that way we can start using that income. And, you know, we're just going to keep it running. We are going to keep it running. Because we're not getting out of the space. It's just, this is the work that's involved. There's no free lunches. If you're not working on your portfolio probably isn't working for you as hard as it could be. This is about efficiency and efficacy. This is just math. And this is an important piece, especially for me right now, because we're trying to pay this debt off and get that weight off of our shoulders, so that way we can redeploy and actually get some legitimate sprints in on these portfolios. And I am excited for that. So that's what we're looking at now. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this down. Pull this off. Stop screen. We're going to add another screen so that way we can get the context. Which one is this? Yep, this is the right one. So now we're going to look at the Snowball Analytics and see what Snowball Analytics has to say about this for us. So right now we're sitting at a portfolio value of $34,135.86. Our IRR, which measures the annual growth rate, which demonstrates the potential return an investment portfolio or holding may produce. A 10% IRR shows that an investment should yield a 10% return annually over the time during which you hold it. Typically, high RR is better IRR. All cash flows are taken into account: purchases, sales, dividends, tax on dividends, fees. Our passive income percentage, we have been making the pivot over to ulty, has now put us back in that sweet spot. We're back at 85.51%, and it'll be climbing up a little bit as we move forward, because we're going to continue transitioning into those higher yield positions over the course of the month of September. Now, I'm not dumping all my Misty in one go. I'm doing it dollar cost average stocks. I want to see what the market's going to do, because I think that September historically is a slower month for the market. So we might have some bigger dips, might have some better opportunities. The other important thing, total profit, we're at 23.9%. So like, as I'm making these sales, total profit, I am in profit because we've been getting paid. So far this year, we have had $14,033.64 come through the coffers, come to do stuff. We are at 52% of our goal, which this has now adjusted. It says we're going to make it by 2028 after that last Misty payout. Again, this gets adjusted based on the payouts and how those payouts are being projected. Now, I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve, because now that we're going weekly, we will be able to tap into our Cash App play a little bit harder now that they've moved us up to $1,000, and we are about to start really banging the drum on that in a big way, because we're going to be using it to add some nitrous to the system, because it's the easiest accessible cash that we have access to, and we are accessing every chance we get. As soon as that bad boy is paid off, we're hitting it again. So we're going to be shifting a little bit of our focus over into that, leaning into that Cash App play to build up our income base in our everyday portfolio to kind of get that into the range. I think honestly, we're at 52% right now. We're going to use that Cash App play until we get to about 75%. And then we are going to continue using that Cash App play in the lifestyle portfolio. That's the next target for that. I'm going to use it to get this up. And then once we get up to about 50% in the lifestyle portfolio, we'll be able to start using that to actually pay the Robinhood credit card and still have money left over to invest, which we'll be doing that because I'll have cash available at that time. And yeah, that's basically what we're looking at. The dividend growth, I mean, these numbers are just ridiculous in compared to last year. So if we look at August of 2024, we made $1,994.03. August of this year, this August that just passed, $2,940.27. And that's not including our Robinhood portfolio, because that portfolio is also producing yield. So, and we're probably in the realm of about an additional $400 a month. Like, the money is rolling in. It's starting to snowball, even with us paying off a lot of debt. So that's something that I'm definitely excited about and very, very happy about. Let's see here. Go ahead and get me back up on the screen. So, you know, as we move forward with these portfolio updates, you know, give the receipts, show the results, and then let the crowd scream and or cheer, because we don't have to worry about faking the funk. We're not lying to kick it. We're just doing the work, showing that it can work, showing how it can work. This isn't, obviously, as we go through my portfolios, when we do the portfolio breakdown, these aren't, even when you look at the Robinhood, I don't just hold high yield. The majority of my wealth is in Bitcoin anyway. Like, I've already won the game. We're putting extra points up and making it more comfortable while we wait for that freedom ticket to get ready to get cashed and stamped. And hopefully, as you guys track my journey, it gives you guys some ideas. Maybe some of you get motivated to start your own journeys. You know, like, you don't have to work until you're 70. You don't have to work until they tell you don't have to work anymore. You don't have to work until they allow you to stop, which generally is when you're used up and your knees hurt. Just so you know, that's the name of the game. They want to just grind you down to nothing, and then allow you to go take a rest, and then you get a couple of good years, and then you expire. That's generally the trajectory that they want us on. And, you know, I'm saying no. I'm flat out rejecting it. I am loud quitting it. I am loud not doing it. And I'm going to leave breadcrumbs for as many people as I possibly can to join me, because at this juncture, I'm like, why? Unless you're tap dancing to work, why? You like being miserable? You like complaining? You like going into jobs that don't respect you, underpay you, can replace you, and treat you as such? Why? I mean, if AI is taking all of our jobs, you best believe I'm going to figure out a way to go hunt for myself by the time that happens. So, till next month, people, we'll be back. This is another portfolio update for the month of August of 2025. And it's your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and I'm out. Peace.
Money on my mind. Yeah. Focus, got no time for games. Nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.